live in my high moments. I have done some good, offered some service, shed some light, healed some wounds, rekindled some hope, or stirred some run from apathy and indifference, or in any way along the way helped somebody, then this campaign has not been in vain.
With your host, Andrew Gordon.
Vera, Viviona, Wang, welcome to the Yoga Moves You podcast. I am so excited to have you on the show. I have so many questions for you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Andrew. I'm excited and looking forward to our conversation today.
So I have to ask you, I don't know if you've been asked this a million times, but me
Probably.
being an outsider to the fashion industry. Now, my wife, Vera, we actually literally have this creative space that I'm talking to you right now. It's a guest bedroom.
Yeah.
Half of it's my audio sound lab where I do all this from, and half of it's a sewing room for my wife. She sews.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. Wow.
So when she saw you, she was like, I mean, she's not here right now, but if she were here, she'd be like ear to ear smiling, like in the background. She's so excited for this interview.
Oh,
so my
loves fashion. Yeah.
She does.
We're so sisters.
Yes, you are. so my dumb question, I'm going to say it's dumb, because when I ask it, you're probably going to roll your eyes. Is there any relation to Vera Wang?
No, not related.
Okay. Is that the first time you've ever been asked that? I'm sure it's not. It can't.
No, it's not. Yeah, many times. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So you're currently based out of Dallas. Is that where you grew up?
No, actually, I grew up in China.
Whereabouts in China?
Northeast of China, very, very, very cold.
Ooh.
So I came here to study. I got my master's in computer science from University of North Texas here.
Yes.
And just kind of being around here.
Now, before we get to your education, because you have an interesting mix of undergrad and grad.
Yes.
What was life growing up like as a child for you in China? Just, in terms of the fact that it was cold. And you were in a different culture, in a different country, some activities, some of your interests.
So I would think I had a very good childhood. I have very, very caring parents. And, they put me and my brother as their top priority.
Yes.
They're great parents, a great inspiration even today. My mom is a very, very strong individual. So she's a huge, huge, huge inspiration for me. The only thing I remembered was I studied so hard. It was a narrow road to a good university. And, China culture, education plays the most important role in every single family, right?
My master's is in English as a second language. And I did not move to teach people from other countries, but I taught at an institution here where the students came from around the world. It was called ELS. So I met many students from China and different parts of Asia, and I am so familiar with the culture of in terms of education. Yes.
Yeah. So that's all I did. All I did was study. From morning to down. And that's all I remembered, because if you don't study hard and you don't get to go to a good university, and it just it seems like you have very gloomy future. And, I studied very, very hard. And I think one thing's good though, even though a lot of the things I learned, I probably don't even remember anymore. I remember there's a history book I can recite from cover to cover, including the notes, inside the parentheses.
I believe it.
Yeah, because sometimes the teacher gets so tricky and they test you, the things in the parentheses. So I had to memorize everything. And I think, I probably don't remember a thing from that book, but one thing I learned is the working ethics.
Yes.
And the confidence, knowing that you can do it, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So your undergrad is in English language literature. What led you to choose that? Which you did that at, excuse me if I pronounce it wrong, Jilin University in China?
Yes, yes. So impressed. You did your research.
Thank you. I'm a researcher.
Yeah, yeah. So my father started to learn English on radio when I was really young.
That's so cool.
Back then, no school was teaching English yet, and right now English is required.
Yep.
As a main course in China. Back then it was not. It's pretty early. But for whatever reason, my father got into it, and he started to teach me how to, speak and write English. I think that's why you give me some early interest. And when we started to learn English in school, I was able to advance. The better you are, the more interest you show in that topic. So I just have more and more more interest into that topic, right? Because I'm always the best ones. That's how I got into it. And by the way, back then, that's like early, like before China become really, really developed. Before it hit its puberty growth area. Era. So English was still considered something as a rare knowledge. If you can speak English and communicate in English, and it opens up a new world for you. So, that's why.
Vera, do you think that your father was a pioneer and had vision more so than other people a bit earlier that English was going to be so important for business?
That I don't know, but I know my father always a leader. Mm-hmm. He was always a leader his whole life. He never told me the reason why he wanted me to learn English, but that's what happened.
Yeah,
things happen for a reason, right?
I'm hypothesizing. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just suspect that might have been. What was his path? What was his career?
A doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
He was amazing doctor, and very, very caring. So there were not a lot of doctors around back then when we were little, I remember. So, and like people would knock at our door like 2 or 3 a.m. It doesn't matter when people knock at the door, he would go and go see the patients. He traveled, so many miles to serve, not even getting paid. He had a huge serving heart.
It's amazing. My massage therapist that I've been going to for years here in Charlotte is from China. Yeah. And she was a doctor in China. Yeah. And here she's not, but her knowledge of Chinese medicine and all the things that she shares with me, because I'm always coming in over the years with something different. I mean, I'm not just talking about physical ailments. It could be something that my sinuses are stuffed up, and she pressed reflexology, a point in my foot, and I'm like, ugh, there's a release. And I think that the beauty of Chinese or Eastern medicine, it's actionable, like it cures or it heals. Whereas in Western medicine, we just like to treat and prolong. And I'm being critical. I'm probably upsetting some people by saying that, but I believe it's true. And there's way bigger macro reasons for all that, which I would rather not get into for this interview. Right, we'll go off course. Yeah, but I do have a great deal of respect for Chinese medicine and what it offers.
That is so cool. I appreciate that. And I know the reason why you said that is because you practice yoga. So, and you probably have a lot of knowledge and research around that area.
I do.
I'm no expert, so I have no comment on that.
I'm not going to call myself an expert. I'll just say that I'm a curious soul.
I hear you. Yeah.
And that I just always like to learn more. So I'm open-minded. And, I just learned so much from my friend Karen. That's her English name. Yeah. And she just shared with me. And over the years, we're friends. I mean, yes, awesome. I see her. I'm a client, but she's a friend of mine. And I like that. So you made major transition in two ways. In 2000, because you finished your bachelor's in 96 in China, you decided 4 years later to move to Texas, and you went to the University of North Texas.
Yeah.
You did your master's degree in computer science. So can you tell me more about like what happened in your life personally and professionally between your undergrad in China and your graduate school in Texas?
Because of my bachelor's in English, my goal back then was to go to a native English speaking country to learn English, right?
Yeah.
What's a better place than go to a native English speaking country? So I was able to achieve that. And when I got here, I realized my skills, which was considered as a skill, back in China is nothing anymore because everybody speaks fluent English.
Yeah.
And then what do I do now, right? So I had to decide a new future for myself. And I started to use Word,
Microsoft Word.
Yeah, Word and Excel and all that. And I was amazed by the technology behind it. And computer science was hot back then as well.
Sure.
So I decided to jump in to do computer science. So even today, I call myself a geeky fashionista.
Yeah, I saw that. I love that.
Yeah, I'm still geeky. I love technology. It just amazes me. Even though I never really worked in technology industry, but I think the knowledge I gained throughout the master's degree program helped with my business for sure.
Yeah, and I want to get to that a little bit later in the interview. I'm going to circle back to that. Your career post-college is very diverse, so I'm going to try and break it down piece by piece.
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, you are a mother. You're a single mom.
Yes.
You have multiple children, or
I have two. I have two, 13 and 10. Yeah.
Boys, girls, or
boy
one
and
of
a girl. Boy and a girl.
Who's the older?
Boy.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Because the mom is the most important job. We need good mothers. And
I'm with you 100%. Mothers are the most important roles in this world.
So being a working single mom, it's challenging. And I have quite a few friends who are in that challenge, and I honor it and respect it. And it's so amazing when people could pull it off successfully,
Yeah.
So do you think that challenge in itself fueled some of your drive to become so successful in business?
I would think they are my inspiration. They are the reasons, and they are who I fight for.
Yes.
But I don't think that's the reason. Like being a single mother is the reason.
Right.
I think it's like your personal goal, is your personal drive, is the fact that you want to make a difference. You want to make some impact, right?
Yeah.
You want to make this world a better place. I think that's the major drive than anything else.
Yeah. And you have some quotes about that, which again, I want to get to a little bit later in the interview, but certainly, being a single mom and taking care of your kids, for sure gets you out of bed and hustle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So Vera, before you launched your own businesses, you're a Fortune 500 executive. Can you tell me more about one of the companies or some of the companies you work for, and a little about the positions that you held?
Yeah. So right after college, I started as the president assistant for a joint venture company called Atlas Copco, which is an electronic tool company. They're $1 billion business all over the world. And I just, worked my way up as the marketing manager for the company, and then as the VP of marketing. It was a very, very good experience. I think it built a solid ground for me and for some of the business aspect as well.
For sure. So ultimately, what made you want to leave that and launch your own business or businesses?
I always wanted to own my own business. That's like one of the dreams I wanted to work on.
Why is that, do you think? What's the appeal?
Don't know, but I just have that dream in the back of my mind. I just want to own my own business, be an entrepreneur. I guess it's an entrepreneurial spirit in me.
And perhaps to put your imprint on the world, which is what you said before. If it's your own business, you can specifically craft your vision to make that happen.
Right. Yeah. I think you connect the dots. Yes. Yeah.
So running your business is no small feat. It's very challenging. And you started yours from scratch and you built it into $1 million plus machines. Is the first company you launched Viviona with the fashion industry?
Yes, it is. I've been very, very fortunate. I think, also because of the background, right? My background, my experience, life experience, what we just, discussed in the last few minutes, it all helped to build up what I started back in 2007. The work ethics, knowledge of running a team, building something from ground up, right? Communication skills and all that, and also the computer science knowledge, the technology knowledge as well. And I think it's more than anything is just being adaptable.
Ooh, that is so poignant. I think everyone listening should take, a lot of people are listening to this podcast. It's not just yoga, like people from all different areas of life listen, but a lot of people are entrepreneurial. They have the spirit in them. I think that's a great piece to take away, to be adaptable. Don't be so rigid.
Yeah. You have to be adaptable to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Because, we're constantly changing and evolving. And the world around us is constantly changing and evolving. Yes. Technology, how people communicate, what's considered cool, what's considered not cool.
So fast.
I know. So we have to keep up with everything to make sure we stay relevant, on trend, on topic.
You see, I was never cool, so I don't even have to worry about all that.
You're pretty cool.
Oh, stop it. Thank you. Vera, you said that you kind of fell into the fashion industry by chance. How does that happen?
Yeah, so fashion is always my passion. That's not like, just out of nowhere, right? Fashion has always been my passion. I'm always very creative, always love fashion. But getting into fashion industry is kind of like it just fall into my lap, right?
How so?
I was very involved in a nonprofit, and I was a VP of marketing. And this entrepreneur, she started her line of jewelry, online credit cards. And I thought that was, she's apparently a risk taker, very courageous. And we invited her as a keynote speaker, and she needed some help. And then that's how I just started this business, fashion manufacturing business. That just happens out of it just happens one day. Just suddenly you're like, okay, I'm going to get into this business.
I definitely don't think that there's any mistakes. And I think that the energy that we have really aligns us with what comes to us.
True. Yeah. Just one thing lead to another. Yeah.
And, what I find interesting about Viviona, your fashion
manufacturing,
manufacturing, is that it's helped so many startup companies, fashion companies.
We do.
Not only launch, but then successfully have their lines and be their own private label. So what gave you the idea to choose that path for Viviona?
We served a lot of clients. We actually still today, we serve a variety of clients. But startups are, a major audience for us. Startup fashion brands and swimwear brands, yoga wear brands, athleisure brands, merchandising items.
Yes.
It just, I'm passionate about helping startup companies because I know their struggle. I know where they're going through. I know their pain points. I have a lot of experience in this area. I tried a startup before, actually. I tried to launch a swimwear line. It was not very successful, actually. Sometimes they say failures are your best teachers. That's true. You always learn from it.
Absolutely.
So, that's my experience from launching my own swimwear line. And I realized how hard it is to have a fashion line what are the challenges they're going through, right?
Yeah.
And I also, mentor in some of the co-working spaces and some I'm big about women, supporting women as well. I see a lot of the struggles. So, we are very, very happy and proud to say that we really provide a very, very unique and turnkey solution to our clients. We offer very, very low minimums. Our quality is amazing. A lot of clients, they come to us, they're like, they've already went through like a few years and couldn't get, decent prototype on their hands. Yeah. So, and we were able to help them to go through all the hurdles and get the line launched successfully.
You have this big toolkit, right, for yourself and for those people you work with. Can you talk more about how you combine your expertise in digital marketing, SEO, social, email marketing, e-commerce with this aspect of your business and the people you help?
Right. So, first of all the knowledge in the technology side helped our business in the digital marketing side of it, right?
Yes.
It helps to drive a lot of traffic to our website through search engine optimizations, through social media marketing, through Google local listing, all that. Also we utilized a lot of online tools to help us to grow our business as well. And all this knowledge, we provide a 30 minutes online free consultation to our future clients. And, throughout that process, because our goal is to help our client to be more successful, because the more successful they are, the more successful we are, right?
Absolutely.
We serve one customer together. And, how are we going to help them to be more successful? And, if there are startups at the beginning, if I see things they can improve on, either name or, how to set up their business and whether, you should trademark their business or not. And, which product to launch first, what's, a better, easier route to get their products onto the market, and what are the tools or software that's out there is helpful for them to get their project off the ground. I would love to share as much information as possible.
Sure.
That way, just to help them grow, help them to be more successful.
Well, you're quoted as saying this, and I totally agree. So I'm going to share it. No matter what industry you're in, you have to embrace the technology and what it brings to your business. And I think that's something that some people get and some business owners just do not feel that it's worthwhile either to outsource it or to do it themselves. But really, come on, the yellow pages, TV and radio basically are no longer the machines or, the relevant things that they were. Everything moves fast, and I think to understand how to get your word out is so important, and you have to embrace the technology and not just stonewall it and say, well, I don't care to be a part of that because I don't use it, I don't get it, I don't care, because that's death, it's suicide.
Exactly. You're so right. You are right on point. We have to wake up and say, all right, I have to embrace this new era. If you cannot learn it yourself, go hire someone.
Exactly.
You have to get it done. It doesn't matter which industry you're in, what business you're in. It doesn't really matter. You have to get this new digital marketing era down. Either search engine optimization or social media marketing. You have to be out there and searching for solutions. If you're not, you will be left behind.
Viviona, as you said before, is able to serve a huge capacity of different fashion categories, but you do have a focus, which is important, on swimwear, athleisure, activewear, but you also include yoga wear.
I love yoga. Yoga is my happy place.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, your audience, I'm just sharing my personal experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian, and
yes.
When I practice yoga at the end of the yoga where, you know,
Shavasana.
In Namaste, whatever, right? How do you close the yoga practices again? Sorry.
Well, it varies. I mean, well, Shavasana is when you're laying down in corpse pose.
Yeah.
And then depending on the studio or the gym or the teacher, you could end just by saying thank you. You could say namaste. Some people om. That's all decided by
whoever is practicing.
The place you go to, the culture of the place. So.
Okay. So the reason I want to mention that is because I always incorporate that with my spirituality.
Yeah.
So that's why I call that a happy place. And I feel like I'm connected with my inner power, with my spirit inside of me, and with a high God. And then, I feel the peace, and I feel the purity, and I feel the calmness when I finish yoga. So I can say that's really, really, really good practice. I'm not good, and I'm not.
No, I need to stop you there. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. No, because there's two things you said that I really want to touch on from the yoga standpoint.
Yeah.
The first thing is that yoga, at least when I had my studios and I still teach, it's not, unless it's a very specific studio that is into, you know, the Vedic tradition, and they're going to incorporate some of that religion, the Hindu religion, into it. That's not yoga as a whole. It doesn't have to be that way.
I know. But that's why I said it was my personal experience. I love that. I love the fact that I have that quiet moment where I can really connect with my spirit. I know what you're talking about.
And that's what I would tell students who had some concerns, is that this process is to guide you to a place of stillness where you can connect to your higher power.
Yes.
Whatever label you put on it, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
Exactly.
But if you feel more connected and more spiritual and more at peace after the class, then that is great. It doesn't, you know, there's no label for it. The second thing is, when people say I'm not good at it, if you look at least what I subscribe to, there's 8 limbs of yoga. Now, the physical postures, which are known as asana in Sanskrit, they are just one piece of the puzzle. There's a whole philosophical, it's not a religion, there's a whole philosophy, which is very similar to the same good things they would tell you in religion, which aligns with yoga, but not that, you know, not many people in the West really know that, because we're just attracted to the workout side. And what ends up happening is people that stick with the physical side as a byproduct, unbeknownst to them, all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know what? I used to get pissed off in traffic and give people the finger, and now there's this big pause where I don't react.
Yeah.
I calm down.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah. So now let's, back to, you mentioned earlier about like Viviona has a focus on swimwear, athletic wear, yoga wear, athleisure, and merchandising. That's, part of the reason is I'm so passionate about fitness, about healthy lifestyles. And I think one thing I'm really preaching on is to incorporate your passion into your business. So now you're not going extra miles to work on your business, right? You're just like, they're all one. Like, it's almost like one love, just to put into a simple term.
Absolutely.
You're working on your passion, you're working your business, and then, you're not wasting time to do anything. They're all like one unity. So that's why we have that focus. Beach body, lifestyle, eating healthy, doing yoga, working out, all that. Everything
is connected. There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
I'm actually going to hit on something you said about using your strengths and your passion in a couple of questions later. But I want to switch back to fashion for a moment. There's clients that request from you and Viviona for sustainable fabrics, right? And they use that as a marketing tool when they brand. Now, I would like to know, as an outsider to that world, what are sustainable fabrics and why are they attractive to market?
That's because there are a lot. It's a growing market, right? First of all,
Yeah.
And there are not a lot of companies out there doing it because it's not that feasible yet. The pricing is still considerably high.
Yeah.
And so, and in the meantime, it give you the marketing advantage, right? So,
well, what are they? What's an example of a sustainable fabric?
It makes you stand out easily because not the majority of the market is doing it. Like sustainable fabrics, that can be fabrics made of recycled materials.
Okay,
right?
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Or like denim that's made of like organic dyes, not like chemical dyes, right?
Yes.
Or use less chemical process as possible, and just it's something like that.
I get it. There's a consciousness. Yeah. There's a conscious movement to, protect Mother Earth and to do good things for the world as a whole. Now that we're more, connected globally than ever through social media and the internet. So I get it. I just wasn't sure exactly what those were from your vantage point. So you serve a lot of different clients, including Sugar Sports. Now you created a sports bra for women with larger breasts called Sugar Shock to reduce the bouncing and increase the comfort while running and jogging. So my question is, are they considering a similar product for men that have moobs? For man boobs.
Quick, that's funny. That's hilarious. So shout out to Sugar Sports. They will be very, very happy for your mention. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
They are amazing. This client, I feel very close, very dear to my heart. They actually went through a lot before they found us. And they invested so much and they just couldn't get their products, couldn't get the right one. Yeah. So we were able to help them to, with the 2 rounds of prototypes, they got, a perfect product. So they're super, super happy with what they have. And I firmly believe their products is going to totally, totally transform sports bras. Just like, Spanx.
Yes, it makes sense.
Simple products and, billion-dollar business. And, sports bra have been the same way for, I don't even know how many years.
Yeah.
And I totally believe Sugar Sports, their bra is going to really, really solve some pain points for a lot of the customers out there. Amazing products.
Very cool. So you say as long as you know your strength and combine your strengths with the things you're passionate about, wealth will follow. Now, first, let me say that I agree with that approach. However, I want to add on to it. Some people may say that it's important to also build up your weaknesses as much as you can to help balance out your strengths. So what would you say to those people, or what's your take on that?
My take on it is, we live in a very competitive world, right? Yeah. Every industry you're in, it's competitive. And if you're using your weakness to compete with other people's strength, I don't think, that would be a long shot. What about focus on your strengths? Because, God created us, each single one of us has our own strength, right?
Yes.
If you dig deeper, you probably will find more strengths, right? A few more strengths than just one. So why not focus on your strengths and combine them with your passion and, and go from that route? It will be a lot easier. And, you probably have more advantage over people who are not passionate, who are not strong as you are in that industry or that field.
I just wanted to hear your answer, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
because I think being well-rounded is good, but I think as far as business goes, it's irrelevant to a sense, because you hire the people or outsource the things that you're weaker in, right?
Yes.
And kick ass at the things that you're passionate about, you love doing, and you are a high achiever in them. And just keep on getting better and better with those things.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Yeah, 100%. We can't, we probably can handle a lot of things, but we can't do everything. And plus, it may not be efficient, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
also, sorry. And
no, go ahead.
I just want to make another note on what we talk about. Also, this is quite critical when you first started to
oh my God, yeah,
the direction you're going. Like if you're right after college, you're trying to decide, which direction you're going, which career you want to pick, right? This is something you want to consider as well. So you want to map out the things you're good at, you're passionate, and just figure out, what you can do around the things that you're really good at, really passionate about. That I think that will help you to advance a lot faster.
I totally agree.
Right. And, no matter what, you really enjoy what you do. And that's all matter, right? If you enjoy what you do and, and you have finding joy in every single moment of your life, I think that's all matter, right? Life is a journey.
The NBA is not calling up Bill Gates to dunk a basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nor is he seeking out the opportunity to. You have to know your role and play it the best you can. Especially if you're passionate about it.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, Michael Jordan is not good at baseball. He tried.
He did try. He couldn't hit the curveball. But what a basketball player.
I know, right? Totally.
So switching from passion to the happiness side of things, no success is a success if you're not happy. Truth. Totally believe that.
Totally.
And you say that we all have a purpose on this planet, which we just discussed. Once we figure out the why, these are your words, it's easy to figure out the how.
Yes.
So you may have touched on this before, but I'm going to ask you this again, maybe for a more detailed answer. What is your why?
My why is to empower women.
Nice.
Yes, I'm very, very passionate about body positivity, self-love. I personally suffered for years. I share this story many times. Growing up, I was always a skinny girl, but every time I look at the mirror, I'll say, like, you're fat. I always played down. I always had so many negative things to say about myself and super critical about myself, even like if I'm just late for something, and I'll be so harsh on myself, and when I did my transformation, it just totally opened up a new world for me. And it's like a new life. It feels so light. I feel more joy, more confidence. Can
I ask you for a piece of advice that you can offer people, especially women or young women that are suffering with those challenges, these images that are thrown on them that are just not always realistic?
Yeah, I know. So I would think first thing first, everything starts from your mindset, right?
Totally.
And next time, every single morning when you look at the mirror, just tell yourself, I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm sexy, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, or whatever words you want to use, just throw it in there. It might feel very, very uncomfortable at the beginning because I felt that when I first did that, it just felt like awkward. I was by myself. I was a little embarrassed.
Do you think it's because you didn't believe what you were saying?
Right. Yeah. So, but you have to say it. Just start from there. And it takes time. It doesn't take one day. And if you are relapsed and you criticize yourself for being negative again, that's okay. Just start all over again. Just start brand new next day again and again. Next day is a brand new day, right? Yeah. I love the movie Gone with the Wind. In the movie, she said, tomorrow is another day. So, so just start all over. It's okay. It will take a while. Be patient. And sooner or later, you are going to notice the difference.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
The first day of the rest of your life. Yeah, repeat after me. I love myself. I love my body.
I love myself. I love my body.
I'm beautiful enough. I'm handsome enough.
I'm beautiful enough. I am handsome enough. I am smart enough.
Yeah, I'm skinny enough.
I'm skinny enough. I suffered from that. I actually lost 60 pounds.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. And I say that not to throw, I know numbers are a trigger for people that suffer with body image. So I say that very carefully to say that the weight loss has stayed off over a period of what, like now, like probably 16 years. Yeah. And it's because of the yoga. Now, the yoga was part of the way I lost the weight. The other way was, nutrition and some other physical exercise. But the yoga goes back to what we spoke about before, the mindset of stopping myself before I was in a bad emotional state and saying, let me order a whole pizza. So, but, and then I stopped and said, it's the carrot and the stick. You got to reassociate what you put pain and pleasure to. So I associate more pain with how am I going to feel after I eat that whole pizza in the moment with pleasure for discipline.
Yeah, so true. And I think, those are really, really, really good points.
Thank you.
But, mindset is always where everything begins.
Absolutely.
Start to love yourself. I seriously believe that's the very beginning.
I cannot leave this important piece out of the interview, which builds right off of what we're talking about. Yeah. I would like to know more about Miss Fashion Week and the hashtag You Are Enough campaign.
Yeah. So Miss Fashion Week is the first organization that bridges modeling with pageantry. We are also the very first one in human history ever that takes petite and curvy. The reason why we do that is because what we just discussed. We're a big advocate for body positivity and self-love. We want to empower women of all ages to embrace themselves for who they are. And only when you can embrace yourself for who you are, no matter what stage you're in, that's when you can connect with your inner self. And that when you are connected with your inner self, you can then build up your self-confidence and self-esteem. I'm still working on it, but when I started to work on it, I start to feel the difference. I'm a lot happier with the person who I am, a lot happier with my little faults, right?
Yes.
And now I'm more forgiven for all the little mistakes I make. So it just, it's really, really, really amazing. So that's what we are passionate about. And I believe there's nobody else out there doing what we do. And that's, earlier you said, what's my why? That's my why. Yeah. We really want to, replace the traditional pageantry modeling competitions down the line. I know it's a very, very ambitious goal. We are working on it. And we encourage our models to be our brand ambassadors and advocate on our mission. And they do. Our models amazing. Even our photographers, they notice that. They are like your models. They are, they are confident. They're fierce, right? And why is that? And that's from the inner self. That's not just from their beautiful face. They are beautiful right there, but they have something inside of them is exhilarating into the outside world.
We're taught that we have 3 body types, ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. Just based on that scientific knowledge, we all have different body types that are actually defined and taught to us.
Yes.
So why are we trying to, send images to be one particular thing?
Exactly.
We could be healthy and well and happy in the body type that we are. And I think healthy and well is the goal.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yeah, that is so true. There's so many different weight loss theories out there. But, if you don't know your body type, it won't work for you, right? Yeah. So we are all different, every single one of us. You just have to know your own body types and be okay with it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we also want to send our models to middle schools and high schools to talk about body positivity and self-love.
I love it. So freaking important.
I know 80% of the women are not happy with their, who they are. And that's a huge number. That's why the plastic surgery industry is so booming because we all want to fit into that mold. And I think the middle school, high schoolers, and they're going through a hard time as well. If we can start from young, let them know, it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a little flaws here and there, and just to embrace yourself for who you are. And then, I believe it will help them tremendously with their self-confidence and their future growth.
I really like it. And I want to ask how people can get involved, and also when Miss Fashion Week is going on.
Yes. So we are looking for people who can become our brand ambassadors. Cool. To help us to get the message out there. Do I need to provide the contact information?
Yeah, of course. Well, I'll take everything in the show notes because I'm like the ADHD. I'm like a fish in a bowl. Every time I swim around, it's all new to me.
Yeah. So basically, it's you just email us at team@missfw.com. Or you can visit our website at missfw.com, missfashionweek.com. So it's missfw.com. You got it?
Yes, and we're going to put that in the show notes and add on people to reach the rest of your empire at Viviona.
That would be awesome. Yes, this is great. Yeah,
Vera, I enjoyed so much talking to you. It's been such a pleasure and an honor.
Talking to you too. Yeah, I love your questions.
Thank you so much, Vera Viviona Wang. There she is on the Yoga Moves You podcast.
All right, thank you, Andrew.
Yoga Moves You podcast.